Hi everyone, welcome to JCI Michigan webinar, Passports and Incentives. I'm Jessica Anderson, Programming Director for 2019 over Passports and Incentives. My home chapter is JCI Lansing. Tonight we're going to discuss passports and incentives, so thank you for joining and I hope you learn a lot. So here's a quick little agenda of the topics we're going to touch on. We're going to touch on the passport degrees, JC Member, which is a website to log your degrees, JTeen Passports, Junior JC Incentives, incentives for local officers, and then take a moment for questions. So what is Passport to Civic Leadership? Defined, it is a program designed to activate new members. This is a 10-step career path for members, providing a sequence of events to be followed, such as chairing projects, holding board positions, recruiting members, additional things. It's basically the checklist of things you are likely already doing as an active JC, but it guides you to be an even more well-rounded JC. It also helps provide recognition for the accomplishments that you have within your JC career. So the first 5 degrees, these are usually the things that you do right away, probably within your first couple years of being a JC. Those things include things like attending a new member orientation, just participating on a project, inviting a friend to come join you, learning about national trainings and events, participating in competitions, maybe conducting a new member orientation. So now you've spent a little bit of time as a JC and you want to host a new member orientation. Things like attending a training, and then a little bit further, leading a training. Newer members often hit degrees 1 through 3 just by being an active member within the first year or two, but they may not even realize it. So these are just samples. You can find a full listing of these degrees on JC Member. So degrees 5 through 10, those are a little bit further in your JC career. Those are things like serving on your chapter board of directors, holding a conversation with a national officer, attending a city council meeting to learn more about your community and how JCs can help your community. Again, you could lead another new member orientation, lead a project that supports the active citizen framework, conduct a media interview. So some of those things are things that you could be doing while you're in degrees 1 through 5, but they're a little bit further down the line. How do you track your passport? So JC Member is an online website, jcmember.com, pretty simple to get to. Your profile has your stats, such as your renewal date, who recruited you, what chapter you're in, and logging each of your things for each degree. Your president and any delegates they select may also use JC Member to view chapter-specific stats, such as renewals, who has which degree, and additional things for the chapter within JC Member. Once you're logged into JC Member, you click on Passport to Civic Leadership to view what has been submitted by you, what's been approved by your chapter, saying that you have completed that particular piece of a degree, and then what you still have left to complete. If you do not know your JC Member login, feel free to reach out to me and I can help you with that, or reach out to your president directly and they can assist you. So to record a task in JC Member, you're going to log in and follow these simple steps. You're going to navigate down a little bit if you happen to be on your phone. You're going to see this blue box, Passport to Civic Leadership, and you're going to view your passport. You're going to see the items for each degree, and then you're going to click on the one that you're looking for that you just completed. Once you have checked that box, you're going to hit Submit under the degree. A status will appear next to it that says it's awaiting approval on whatever date you submitted it. Then your chapter president will get a notification to approve it and submit the Passport to Civic Leadership program for recognition. If you happen to be a chapter president that submits, it's going to go to the state president to approve that. You can find all of these details on page 23 in the 2019 Programming and Recognition Manual. So JTeens, this is a program geared towards JTeens ages 13 to 20. The JTeens program consists of 30 items that can be completed in any order. Each degree earned requires completion of 3 tasks and a community service element. The hours required for each degree increases. JTeens earning their first degree would need to log 1 hour of community service, while a JTeen earning their 7th degree would log 7 hours. The link at the bottom of this slide is going to be the Google Drive that you can find at the end of each trimester. There's a new Google form for a JTeen to submit towards their degrees. Some samples of a task that a JTeen might participate in would be participating in a JC project, sitting on a project committee, bringing a friend to a JC project, reading to children in their local community, or submitting a project recap to maybe their chapter newsletter. JTeens should check with their president if they should be submitting their forms on their own, or if the chapter president is going to assist in submitting that on behalf of the chapter. These are likely tasks that the age bracket 13 to 20 individuals are likely already doing if maybe they're a JC child of a JC parent, or they're that friend that kind of tags along to everything. But these are things that are pretty simple for them to be doing, and it helps them see the benefit of being a JC without being the age required for JCI Michigan. Junior JCs. This program is geared towards children ages 5 to 12. To receive their incentives, junior JCs must complete 1 task for each year of their age. For example, a 6-year-old would complete 6 tasks on their junior JC incentive list. These incentives can be submitted each trimester. Again, it's a Google form at the end of the trimester that'll tell you which task. These tasks could include attending a JC project, volunteering at a non-JC community event, teaching someone a new game, maybe it's a sibling or it's mom and dad, or even going to a JC event and teaching someone a new game that they learned, doing a chore without being asked, or visiting another chapter's project. So these are tasks that aren't necessarily always JC geared, but it helps build leadership within that child. Local officer incentives. Page 38 through 49 in the 2019 Programming and Recognition Manual, you can find each local officer position and all of the specific incentives that they should be doing for each trimester. It varies a little bit by trimester, but as a general rule, most of them are the same for each trimester. It's a guide to keep you as a board member on track throughout the year. Many of them are tasks that come naturally to the job role. It just helps make sure that you're staying active. Each trimester varies a tiny bit. Some of them are consistent, like attending 75% of the meetings. VPs should complete 15 tasks a trimester. Secretaries, directors, and treasurers only need to complete 10 tasks per trimester. Submissions are done via Google form at the end of each trimester. Personal suggestion is print out those pages from the Programming and Recognition Manual and check them off throughout the trimester. There isn't a way to track them throughout the trimester. There's just the one submission at the end of the trimester via the Google form. So if you print out the pages, you can kind of check box them throughout the trimester to make sure that you're doing the things that are going to count. You should also check with your president if the president is asking that everything be submitted at the same time, or if you're going to do it on your own. So some highlights of each role. The vice president, there's things like attending lots. That's one of the incentives for all of the roles, and that's going to be one that's specific to trimester 1 because it's not one that happens more than once a year. Attending meetings, and so that's attending 75% of your board meetings, or you could cross off one but not the other, or cross off both and attend 75% of your board meetings or 75% of your general membership meetings. Vice president could write an article for publication that could be to your local community newsletter, or it could be to your chapter newsletter. Vice president could lead a new member orientation, or attend trainings at conference and participate in competitions at conference. A treasurer is going to be things more geared directly towards the treasurer role, like preparing a budget report for meetings, attending a project, keeping track of the budget, and making transactions throughout the trimester. A secretary is going to have roles is going to have incentives that are directly related to their roles, like taking the member survey and helping build that survey, preparing meeting agendas and the minutes, maintaining the calendar, and maintaining chapter communications. Directors are going to be things like attending lots, attending a chapter plan review at the end of each trimester, recruiting one new member per trimester, visiting another chapter, advancing a degree in their passport. You can see right there that the Google Drive link is right there when it's time. So with that, I thank you all for taking part and reading through this, looking at it, getting to know a little bit more about passport incentives and the things that help guide our JC career. Is there any questions? Thank you, Ariana. If you think of any questions throughout the trimester, throughout the year, you get ready to get to the end of the trimester and you're stuck on does this count, does that not count type of thing, you can always send me an email. I'm available all the time. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your night.